All right, we should be live now.
All right, what's happening? What is going on, everybody? Sunday afternoon, didn't announce this. See if anyone wants to come hang out.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it on my phone just in case people make comments.
Me too. Me too.
I got your sound playing on this bad boy.
All right. If anyone is here and watching, should we shoot a bot out too?
A what?
Should we shoot a bot message out too? One of these days you gotta teach me how to do that.
I've been paying for many chats.
Never claimed I'm the best tech guy. Anybody who's watching, what we're going to be talking about today is getting ready for 2018. These next 6 weeks are crucial to help prepare you for a huge new year. And then we're also going to talk about not chasing the next big thing and shiny object syndrome. There's a ton of that goes on. This industry is absolutely insane with it as far as how unbelievable or how many different options there are. And yeah, we're going to go deep into that because it's something that, even me and Ballz deal with, on a regular basis. We see them, oh, that looks cool. Maybe we should get into that. It's like, no, let's stick to what we know. Let's continue building all that. The grass isn't always greener. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't pay attention and not see new trends and develop towards them. But if you're not seeing success in your first effort, just jumping around usually isn't the best way to go. Sometimes it can take a little bit to find your niche, find this type of online marketing you want to do, but we'll go super deep into that. I have a lot of thoughts on that over the last 3 years. It's really been deep into the game. I've seen a lot of different things come and go, and I'll tell you guys my story about the different things I got started in at the beginning, and how we ended up where we are today, and where we're going.
ManyChat's not working, so I can't even put the broadcast out there.
Perfect. Well,
so we're gonna
talk then. 2018 is right around the corner, and right now, so many people across the country are looking forward to this time of year all year because they can take a break and go hang out with family and do other things. And me personally, I'm of the belief that yes, you want to have work-life balance. Yes, you don't want to get burnt out. But until you get to a certain point, until you're making whatever your goal is, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, I'm of the belief that you have to sacrifice some things that you want to do right now for that long-term gain. I think it's really important, especially at the holiday season. We've got Thanksgiving week coming up, all that good stuff. I'm not saying don't have fun, but look, if you're not where you want to be, there's a lot of people out there who are promising like the 4-hour work week style shit. And the reason why Tim Ferriss could do the 4-hour work week is because he already built multi-million-dollar companies, and he knew what it would take, the smartest efforts to be done. One of my big things that I see, and I see some people hating on Gary, a lot of people love him. Now, I'm not saying you have to work 25 hours a day and have no personal life for 20 years, even when you're making $500 million a year, whatever the hell he's making or what it's worth. Is that it's almost impossible, in my opinion, to be to really work smart until you've learned what working smart actually means. Until you've actually made some sort of progress, until you've actually done something, it's very difficult to know what the best options are and what isn't. Because until then, you're kind of just throwing shit at the wall. You're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. And the best way to get results is massive fucking action. What do you think about that, Ballz? The whole idea of working smart versus working hard, and not walking into this thing, I'm going to work 2 hours a week and make passive income. The people who are telling you can fucking do that when you haven't done anything online are trying to sell you something. So just be smart about it. Fuck. Go ahead, Ballz. What do you got?
Yeah, so it is possible to do that stuff, but the people that come out and do that, they have audiences, they have built some type of business before, so it's not like they're doing it cold. As far as getting traction and going into 2018, one of the things that I'm looking at to do and what's in the horizon right now, you got to keep in mind that businesses, all of their whole mentality right now is they're staying at home. They're going to do the family thing in the holiday season. So right now is the time to really ramp up and get your marketing message can be put in front of them rather quickly. So I would definitely jump on that. And then Nick, you mentioned something else on that what you were just talking about. I slipped my mind. I lost my train of thought. So.
Oh, the idea of I don't believe that you can work smart until you've worked hard and made a lot of fucking results. People selling you that shit are trying to sell you a dream and a course, and that's just not how it works in my experience. I'm not saying you have to work hard for the rest of your life.
So building a business, working smart, right? So when I first started in business, um, when I started making money in business, people started seeing, hey, oh, you're doing really well. Like all of a sudden, people come out the woodwork and you're doing well. You're making money. You're flying all over the place, right? But what people don't see and what didn't notice is the business I was building was 3 or 4 years in the making. I made like 10 or 15 grand a year doing it until it was able to be built up. And it's not because I couldn't scale it quicker. It's because it was seasonal and I had to wait a year to scale every single time. So, being said, going into this type of business, and I'll talk a little bit about some other businesses too, but going into an agency style business, something like this, where you can actually build it month to month and get some momentum, you can drive that momentum quicker than other types of businesses. And for those of you that are out there, and I've made this mistake too, and I think I was telling Nick about it earlier, when you have, if you have some money and you want to work smarter, sometimes working smarter doesn't necessarily mean going and hiring people to get stuff done for you when you don't even know what needs to be done first. So I've made that mistake in other businesses in the past where it's like, hey, all right, we have cash from this other business that just went really well. Let's go start this. Oh, but we have resources now, so we don't have to spend hours and hours building it. Let's just go pump some money, hire some people, and get stuff done. But we didn't actually really know what needed to be done to do it, so it ends up costing us tens of thousands of dollars. So working smarter is definitely key, but you need to know what that effort looks like so you know how to delegate that effort properly.
Absolutely. That's really what I'm getting at. Eventually you learn. Yes, you know how to hire, you know how to scale, you prove concept. My whole big thing before I hired salespeople was I wanted to prove the concept, make sure I could sell it, make sure it was good. We've done that over the last year, and now we've got a very great sales team that has been, awesome. But that's because I worked freaking a sickening amount of hours and had to just, hundreds and hundreds of hours worth of phone calls close, millions of dollars in sales. And then I was able to, really start working smarter. I'm still trying to figure out how to work smarter, like every single day. There's always, a better thing. Oprah Winfrey has the same amount of time that we do. She's a freaking multi-bajillionaire, everyone's got the same amount of time. Some people do work smarter. So I'm not getting rid of that concept completely. What I'm saying is until you get, some results, some sort of traction, some sort of momentum, don't buy into this, oh, I can just do this 2 hours a week and figure it out for the rest of my life. You just want to sacrifice now for that long-term gain. For example, when I was getting started, we spent, a lot of people have, heard this, but, 8-9 months, zero sales, going into debt every month. I was trying to sell SEO. I didn't really like what I was doing. But, that never-ending hunger, that constant searching for knowledge led me to, Billie Jean and that video prospecting method I've talked a lot about on here. And then all of a sudden I spent 70 hours in 2 weeks doing video prospecting methods back last June. And then we got a couple of clients, and all of a sudden I did it again. We got a couple more clients, and I did this all the way through. So my Thanksgiving and Christmases last year were we're done doing video prospecting methods. I was just sharing with you, Ballz. Christmas Eve last year, I was shooting videos for prospects, getting ready to launch them on January 2nd because I knew that business owners were going to be huge. Prepping right now to reach business owners either this month or in early January when they all come out of that and they're like, I want more money, I want to go bigger. That's the best time of the year to get new clients, guys. So get all your materials ready. Get everything ready to freaking launch. I'm not saying launch shit on Christmas Day to business owners, but get stuff ready now and make it fun. When I was shooting the video prospected things last Christmas Eve, every time I finished one, I got to take a shot, and by the time I was done with 10 videos, yeah, I was a little sloppy and slurry, but hey, I had a good time. Woke up Christmas morning, and guess what? I had a bunch of videos ready to come out, and I knew I was going to close 15% of every video that I sent. So now is just such an amazing time to, really get ahead of everyone else. This stuff's not easy. It's not easy to run your own business. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur. But the alternative is always so much worse, working that life that you don't like or, uninspired by, working for someone else, building that dream. And we really just wanted to talk today about, getting prepped for it, because Ballz and I have been talking a lot, and we're both, going hard right now, working to get ready for the big new year. I hate when people, why do we need to wait till January 1st to, do our resolutions? Why not start now? Why not get ready now? Why not start getting trained now? Why not start working now? That's the way I see it. And that's really been very successful for me over the last couple of years. And I expect 2018 to continue that same path.
Awesome. Hey, whoever's watching, if there's people watching, leave a comment below. Let us know that you're here. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. so for 2018, yeah, we want to know what your plans are for 2018 also. So if you have some stuff that you're trying to figure out, go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know what you're up to. And you did mention a few things, Nick. For 2018, you're saying, hey, don't market in December. One of the things that I'm actually going to do is market in December.
So I meant, I didn't mean don't market in December. If you can't market in December, get it fucking ready for the New Year's. How about that? If you got marketing, I'm marketing hard right now. Because like you said, the business owners, they're at home with their family. And as any business owner watching this knows, you don't quite always turn off. It's always in the very back of your mind. You might not be at top of mind. You might not be worried about the whole time, but you're always going to be able to, you're always thinking about it. Go ahead, though.
You're going to have your phone. They're going to have their phone. They're going to go check it, after dinner. The kids are crying, putting up a Christmas tree and all that stuff. And they're gonna be thinking about it. So yeah, I definitely want to have some actual ads running. The funny thing for me is I've done ads in the past and they've worked. I just never kept doing them. So now I have a little bit better process that I'm implementing. So I'm gonna be running ads consistently going into Christmas and then into the New Year. Like I set aside a firm budget for it. So that's the kind of things that we're looking to do to build on this end.
Perfect. Yeah. So guys, just to wrap this whole thing up, because this is one of my favorite topics: mindset, working, work ethic, all that. Not believing this 4-hour work week shit. Go accomplish something, then you can start working the 4-hour work week. That's the way I see it, anyways. Is get ready for 2018. Start now. Don't wait, 6 weeks and be like, oh, I'm just going to relax for the next 6 weeks, blah, blah. Start now. Get ahead of the game. That's what majority of the people are doing. And we need to fight against the majority because everybody wants to be in this type of situation where you cannot most people probably want to run their own online business, want to run their own shit like that. And we're fortunate enough to have some of the knowledge to be able to do that. So take the knowledge, get prepared, get ready to launch, and get ready for a huge, huge 2018.
Awesome. You have anything else to chat about shiny object?
Let's talk about shiny object syndrome as well. We'll make this a little quicker one today, but because this is another huge thing and two things I've been thinking about a lot and actually going through. Because one, I've been planning for 2018 right now. I'm getting ready. This is going to be a big week for me to plan and get ready because it's a slower downtime. Clients won't be, they just won't be as needy. Business is a little bit slower right now for the local business, so I got time. Shiny object syndrome is a huge, huge, huge thing that we all face every single day. Don't do affiliate marketing, email marketing, SEO, Facebook ads for this, e-commerce, Shopify, ClickFunnels building, email consulting. There's hundreds of different ways to make money online. And the thing is, a majority of them will work as long as it's not fucking retarded and you're following the right people. So the biggest thing I got to say with that is, because we all get hit with different stuff, is to pick something and stick with it. Nothing's going to happen overnight. Nothing will. It just doesn't work like that. I know you get people, the course sellers out there, sell the dream. Oh, get your first client tomorrow, blah, blah. And I guess, nothing really happens overnight. It takes time to build these skill sets and do that. So pick something and stick with it, and stick with it for a while. You got to believe in it, because it's just so, I think about it all the time. You're like, oh man, I could be doing this, or e-commerce will be great because then I just be dealing with customers, and blah, 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 blah. But then I have to remind myself, hey, we've got something huge. It's growing over here. It's going very well. Stay focused, help improve that. So that's a big one for me because every day I'm sure all of our feeds that are watching get spammed with, how I made $12,586 in 30 seconds, doing X, Y, Z. And it's always something new. So find something and stick with it. We're not going to say that doing Facebook ads for local businesses is the best, thing out there. There's a ton of great things you can do, but fucking stick with it.
But here's another way to kind of look at it too, right? So, a brick and mortar, right? Your target market, whoever you're targeting. Say you're working with chiropractors, right? And you start running ads for chiropractors. That chiropractor the next month is not a physical therapist, and the following month he's not he's not another type of doctor, and then the following month after that he's not a gym, right? So we have the luxury of not having to change our storefront signage every time we change our business model. But that being said, when you're not consistent, you may get a little bit of traction here and there. Like I know, Nick, you had some e-com stuff going. I had some e-com stuff that had made a little money and I didn't stick with it. But if I did, it may be different, right? So if you keep changing your business model to fit that flavor of the week or the month or whatever it is, you're going to be quickly rotating out that sign. And if you ever had a brick and mortar, those signs cost anywhere from $3 to $7 grand. So it'd be an expensive lesson to learn real quick, right? So
That's one of the best ways I've ever heard put it. Because like even though it's under the same umbrella of online marketing, they're completely different skill sets. It takes a completely different form of mindset and skill set to grow a big e-com store than it does to grow a big agency. Yes, a lot of the concepts are similar. Yes, it revolves around marketing, but it's different, and it's a completely different type of thing. I love that, switching out the signs. That's fucking awesome. That is awesome. One thing I will say, because you brought this up earlier, Ballz, you're talking about 3 to 4 years until your tax offices really started exploding, is when you do stick with something in this industry, in this online marketing world, and we find our one specific path, we're so blessed because you can get lucrative very, 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 very quickly. Putting enough work and enough time not overnight, but basically within a year, 2 years, you can build 7-figure businesses. We've done it here. We're in multi 7 figures now in the last 15 months since we got going with it. And it's very possible to do if you stick with the plan, you don't give up. You know that it's going to be hard. I mean, every single day there's just fucking crazy shit. Shit that a year ago would have made me not sleep for a week, I see every day now. You just kind of learn to roll with the punches. And I know you got some great stories with that, Ballz, because, you start your first time a client freaks out, or the first time an ad campaign goes horribly, or the first time you get threatened to be sued, which, by the way, all those things are going to happen, or else you're not marketing enough, or your business isn't big enough. So, I mean, it can be scary, but, it can come quick, fast, as long as you stick with it and stick with the process.
I remember when you got
Which one?
I remember when you got threatened to be sued.
Oh, yeah. Which time? Yeah.
You're not in business if you haven't been. I mean, I lost $1 million in a lawsuit. So you're not in business if you haven't been sued, threatened to be sued, like all the fucking time.
Absolutely. And haters. People are going to hate your stuff. That's how it is. We live in a negative, shitty, fucked up world right now where everyone's got a just pissed off mindset. So, yeah, it's going to happen.
That mentality, and you learn it really quick in the fire, that's something that you only learn in the fire, right? Yeah. Like, it's not something that you can get trained on how to handle customers, how to deal. Like, I mean, as much as you can be prepared for it, until it's happening, like actually dealing with customer blowback and stuff like that, the preparation can help you, but there's no way besides actually having to deal with it and figuring out what the best figuring out what the best courses of actions are.
Yeah, that's why I'm so against colleges for business right now, because like 4 years of prep doesn't mean a fucking thing when you get in the business world and you're thrown in the line of fire. You might as well just throw people in the line of fire at age 18 and have them learn on the job and get specific skill sets instead of, first of all, spending 2 years studying a bunch of bullshit that you're never going to remember about, like world history or fucking
art history.
Yeah, art history or whatever it is. It's not going to help you make any money. Again, guys, I'm only talking about business degrees here. I don't know about medical. I don't know about law, even though I'm sure that there's a whole huge waste of fucking time going on over there too. But for business, in my opinion, 2017 going into 18, going to school to get a business degree and going deep into debt is about the dumbest thing you can do if you actually want to make money. Because of a lot of things you just said. You cannot prepare for this. There is no right answers in business. You can have ideas, you can guess, you can be creative, you can go forward, but there's always going to be a better way. There's always going to be a better way. There's really no right answers in life. There's no fucking handbook to life. I was talking about this yesterday with a friend. She's doing really well with e-com over the last 6 months. She went from 0 to about 60 grand a month doing e-commerce stuff. And she's asking me what she should do next, and I'm like, homie, if there is a handbook, everyone will be rich. We just have to fucking take action and try. There's all kinds of step-by-step guides to get you to 10K, get you to 50K, those types of things. But once you start reaching those, mid 6 figures, high 6 figures a year, up into 7 figures, I mean, you can get guidance from people, you can get help from people, but boy, there's a million ways to skin a cat, and it's just something you have to go out there and figure out and do, like you said, because there's no way to necessarily know exactly what's going to work best unless you try, test, and take action.
Yeah, and that's kind of like where it helps to know other people that are where you're at or where you're going to be.
Yes.
Right? One of the first things I did when I was scaling was in other businesses was go and visit people that had a bigger infrastructure than I did. And then I saw, oh, okay, they have all these different pieces to the puzzle that need to be put in place so that you can run at this efficiency, right? So one of the things I might do next year is go visit Nik's operation to see how they do it. not necessarily knowing that, hey, I want to go into that, build an agency brick and mortar style or not, but I know that they'll have certain systems and processes in place that may benefit me for what I need to build, right?
Guys, so glad you brought that up, because this is perfect for this video with Mindset 2018. The number one most important thing in all of life is who you surround yourself with and who you're listening to. I'll give you, I could talk stories about this all day long, but you level up. So I'm in some certain groups. We're doing pretty well, as you guys, we've talked about things like that, but I'm in certain masterminds. It costs me a lot of money to enter, and they're just running laps around me when it comes to profit, profiting, $500,000 a month, not revenue profit, and some of these kids are younger than me, all that type of shit. And so I'm looking at them, I'm like, I got to be like them. Even though we're doing well, I'm very blessed, I'm very thankful, grateful. But because I'm working and around these people and I know them, I know that psychologically it's possible, which is going to lead me to start taking the actions I'm going to take in 2018 to start being where they're at. So we've spent over $50,000 cash this year alone between a mastermind with a coach, with Alex Becker, John Lagar, our coach over there, ClickFunnels Certified Partnership, as well as a couple other courses. And we've gotten at least, 10x return on it. If anything, most of our business is built around some of those things we've got in. So go out, network, find people who are on your level, and then find people who are above your level. And I don't care, pay those people who are above your level to learn. John Lagar, for example, when I met him in February, we were doing 100K a month. Last month, we did almost 300,000. Was it all him? No, of course not. We still had to do a lot of shit. But he really helped with the way we approach things. He was always there to answer stuff. So go find masterminds, go find groups, go find mentors. So important. And then find people in the world who are, on your level. Because let's face it, most of our friends, most of our family, they just fucking look at us like we're crazy. When I tell people I'm making $1 million a month next month, and they're like my old friends and family, they're like, the hell? Because they're thinking about $1 million in 20 years. When they're retired, their goal is to have $1 million. So finding people like that, that's why me and Ballz are friends. We've got several other people that we interact with because, we're on those similar levels and we're looking to grow big. And it's always nice to have people that you can talk to, knowing who are fighting the same struggle you're fighting. So when Facebook fucks up or does something stupid, we can all bitch about it together and, all that stuff. And you learn tips and tricks from these people. And frankly, most of it has to do with knowing what's possible out there. Because I can't express enough. Again, we're doing well. I'm very happy. But when I see what these guys are doing in my mastermind, I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to do that. Because then you realize they're not that special. Now, what they are doing are awesome, and I have tremendous respect for them. But they're not special. They're humans just like we are. And they're just, get to learn and know them. It makes it real. It makes it possible. So I'm glad you brought that up, because who you're surrounded yourself with is everything. We all hear that shit all the time, but it is so clear to me. 10 years ago, I was railing cocaine, drugs, in jail, not doing well in life. 10 years later, it's a completely different ballgame because of who I surrounded myself with and the decisions I made and the books I read. So anyways, rant's over. All you, bro.
Yeah, guys, that's huge. And one of what Nick said, hey, if you have the option to pay somebody to mentor you, do it. Right? Yes. But make sure it's the right person, right? There's only so much you can bet. There's a lot of coaches out there that don't really have the businesses that they teach. So find somebody that's real. Like when I first went to John's event, like I already had known his background from the past, but hey, I met him in person, heard the different experiences, and actually know a lot of the people that he surrounded himself with and the names that he mentioned. So I'm like, okay, this guy's real, right? So make sure that they actually will benefit you in that aspect and not just take your money and put you through a program. Because listen, John's thing is not like a big course. It's more of a one-on-one, right? So it's like, okay, hey, I have this issue. I need help addressing this, or how should I approach this, right? There's so many courses out there on tactics, but when you actually really need strategy and how to implement, the course can only go so much. And then don't reach out to somebody that's doing like $1 million a month if you're not even at 10K, right? Because you're not the things the knowledge that they'll give you will not benefit you anywhere in the short term. Nowhere in the short term.
I completely agree, and I love that you bring that up. That's another thing we joke about on this channel here, is be very, very careful of the courses and the mentors that you buy people from. Make sure that they actually really do have a business, not just talk about it. For example, I pay John as well, and then Alex Becker. But Becker wouldn't take in people who were only doing 10K a month. I'm in his Hero Black Card Mastermind group, and it was one of the best $25,000 I've ever spent. But he wouldn't take people in who were doing that 0 to 10K, because that's a good point. He's way, way above that. He wanted to take people who were doing, low 7 figures, get them to high 7 figures, and that's why we got in that group, and we're already well on our way because of that. So make sure you know who you're getting mentored by. Make sure that they have stuff to back it up, and always be skeptical of people who only teach and then teach to teach more. Like, it's just, you see so much of it out there, and fake screenshots. I mean, it's just sad, but vet the best you can, ask around, find out if people are legit. And because there's a lot of people out there who we know they teach just to teach, or they're not really doing nearly as well as their online persona seems. And I don't know. It's a fucking crisis out there right now. But that's why we're here. We're going to give you real shit from real fucking things going on that are doing, real money and have real agencies to back it up. My biggest thing with the agency courses is how many courses out there really talk to you about how to retain clients. When you see that, you realize that none of the courses, at least any that I've come across, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or shoot me a message, but very few talk about client retention. They just tell you how to get a client. And it's really easy to get results for a client for 1 month on Facebook ads. Real fucking easy. Do it for 10 months. Do it for a year. That's for a year and a half where we're at with some of our clients. It becomes a much more difficult ball game. A lot more goes into it. And so make sure you're vetting your people and learning from people who are actually doing shit.
There's a lot of nuances that you need to know when setting stuff up for a campaign, right? Like when you're setting up a campaign, like back then, Nick, a year ago, you set up campaigns a certain way because you're like, all right, let's get quick results. But now I'm looking at it from the mentality of, all right, let's set it up this way because I know it'll get them quick results right now, but I need to have certain things set up because I know it's not going to last, down the road, right? And then that's kind of like how we get into topics of stuff that a lot of people talk about, but we've been pushing away from, is branding and stuff like that, right? Like brand plays. And what I'm seeing a lot in this space and what I'm starting to move my clients over to is, hey, we need more video. We need more stuff from you to spend money to build audiences, right? So like that's kind of like the stuff that I'm like, hey, you know what? Yeah, you want the leads right now. I get it. And then I had a conversation with a client last week, and I'm like, hey, you're taking a step backwards, right? We need to kind of move this way. It'll cost us more money in the short term, but in the long term, it'll benefit us, right? So if you're not prepared to work those angles, like everyone just wants that quick $1,500 or $2,000 a month client. Sure, they'll last for a few months. Like I have some that last for a long time. But at a certain point, the ads start fucking drying up, and you need new shit, and there's only so many times you can move around an audience, right? So if you're not planting the seeds and building their brand, then you're doing them a disservice and yourself a long-term disservice.
Yeah, and a year ago, you could just slap up a fucking ad that had any type of offer on it, and then throw in clicks to website and no targeting, and you could probably print fucking leads. Doesn't quite work like that all the time. When I was saying it won't, it can, things like that. But yes, audiences are super important. Retargeting super important. Video is super important as far as getting people subconsciously, psychologically connected with that brand. That's why video is so big. It's taken me a while to come around on video because I personally don't watch videos ever. I have like mad ADD. I can't sit and watch shit. It's very difficult for me. But 73% of the internet, I saw a stat I think this morning, 73% of the internet is now video engagement at this point. So the masses watch video. And we're always got to remember, we're never selling to ourselves. We're selling to the masses. We're selling to the market. Just because I never buy anything on Facebook through an e-commerce, that doesn't mean there isn't millions and millions of people who are. And another thing I want to talk about, because this comes up to me too, I have to fight this as well, but this idea of oversaturation in Facebook ads, Facebook this. Every day I hear about people who have never been on Facebook before. And guys, there's going to be like 3 billion consumers that are going to be coming online in the next 3 to 5 years, across the world and buying stuff. Hell, America's still got tons and tons of room for growth for online shopping, online everything. So I wouldn't worry at all about saturation in almost anything for at least a couple of years. The world's going to change fast. You need to be paying attention to what's going on because that might make sense today, but 6 months from now it might not. But don't fucking worry about oversaturation at all. You can make plenty of money. You can start a fucking Cairo business today and get $100,000 a month company going in a couple months. If you knew what you're doing and you had a good inbound system.
What's gonna happen though for the ones that are scraping the bottom of the barrel clients is that those $100 trials or whatever people are doing isn't gonna produce a result.
Mhm.
So like that's where people are gonna fall off the agency real quick when they realize that, hey, they never really spent the time to learn it. The cost per leads are going up, ad cost is going up. It's not going to go down, guys. It'll dip back down here probably in January after Q4, and it'll stay consistent, and then it'll go back up. But it's never going to dip back down to how it was last January, right? So it's going to steadily go. It's going to have a little ups and downs, but it's going to steadily go up. That cost per lead is going to go up if you're doing lead gen. That cost per is going to go up. So
Realistically, yeah, I mean, realistically, it's actually almost a good thing Facebook's been so crazy lately and all that because it's really raising the barrier to entry for people to get in because you have to be a lot more technical. You have to learn a lot more. There's literally thousands of different ways to set up an ad before we even start discussing ad copy and landing page format, at this point, which is it can be a pain in the ass, when Facebook makes a big update, September 18th, fuckers. But once you can navigate through that, it's going to be good because it's not quite as easy to press boost post for a business and all of a sudden there's printing money or whatever. So that gives tons of opportunity. What?
aren't they removing that?
Boost post?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Probably. They're doing a ton of shit. It's ridiculous. We've got full-time Facebook people in house just to keep up with the freaking changing. Like I haven't seen that one, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but at a certain point here in the next year and a half, $1,500 is not going to be enough for you to sustain a client. It's not. Sorry.
It's gonna take too much time and be too expensive to keep up with. But that doesn't mean it's not right now. So go get that money, start building resources, then you can adapt, you can make changes. We have resources, you have a team, we've got a team behind us. We're going to be making some pretty aggressive moves in 2018, bringing in AdWords, bringing in some new stuff, and really looking to grow and spending time testing and getting stuff. But right now, the opportunity's here. It's still here in January. We're not trying to scare anybody with doomsday. It's just the reality of the situation. Platforms change and, platforms change. Things come and go. Marketing isn't going anywhere, though, as long as we don't become a fucking communist country or some shit and we don't keep voting away our rights. But that's a different story. As long as capitalism exists, marketing will exist, and it's going to be a very valuable skill set to learn.
Yeah. The vehicle will change. The platform will change, but the results will always be there as long as you know how to do it.
Marketing's been working since the 50s, guys. Make money online has been, or not make money online, make money quickly has been around since like the 60s when they were selling them through direct mail letters to people. And then in the 70s, they were selling personal development courses. In the 80s, they were seminars selling. The platforms just changed. People are always going to be hungry. They're always going to want to learn more. And you know what? If you can teach people how to get customers in their business, you're always going to have a skill set and you'll always be able to make some money.
All right, I guess we'll leave it at that. No comments, nothing. People watching, nobody says a goddamn thing. But
this was a good one. I'm gonna write on here. This was a fucking good one because it was. This is how you get ready for 2018. This was good shit. I'm excited. I'm fired up right now. I'm about to work all afternoon. Like I'm pumped. Let's do this. But yeah, we'll be back. What, Tuesday with Mackenzie?
Tuesday's Mackenzie. If we toss in a live tomorrow, that'll be TBD.
Yeah. We might be going live a lot here soon. Let's see. I mean, next week's probably a good week to do it too.
Yeah, like Thanksgiving evening at dinner time.
I wouldn't be able to go live tomorrow night, so we'll see. Let's see if we can get some guests on or something too. We'll let's play around.
Yeah, cool. All right. See you later.
All right, guys. See you. All right, bye.